What are the duties and responsibilities of a foreman? I am stoked to go over this video with you because we just wrote a book about it in Elevating Construction Foreman. And we're going to summarize the high-level concepts for you right now. And so what you'll get by watching this is being able to know the exact steps that every crew leader should follow on every project. It's absolutely amazing, it's consistent, and it applies to most, if not all, projects. In this video, you're going to learn what are the 4 things we should do during the preparatory phases before doing work. What is the key responsibility of a crew leader while he or she is doing work or the crew is doing the work? And what is the best daily routine that will really set up a crew leader for success? Okay, so let's do this. You're going to love it. I hope you're sitting down. Let's get ready to take some notes. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. So if a crew leader is going to go do work with the crew, that does not start at the start of the activity. So I'm just drawing this over here. That's the start of the activity. The work of a crew leader starts way over here, and I'm going to give you some of these key concepts. Remember 4, I promise 4, that will happen before we ever get to that point. So first and foremost, it's the pull plan with your project team. What that means is your project will have a milestone, and that milestone will be used to create a collaborative sequence, usually done on little stickies or tags, to pull the work backwards and to create the proper sequence. And so this pull plan, there's other videos to learn more about it, and actually we can link them to you through the description below. But the point here is you will create a collaborative sequence with your project team, with the other crew leaders and the general contractor, so that before you ever even get to the work, you know exactly where that activity fits in the sequence. Number 2, participate in a pre-construction meeting before the activity. So 3 weeks maximum, 2 weeks minimum before the activity starts, we should have number 2, I'm going to call it the pre-construction meeting. And so this pre-construction meeting is where we collect all of the submittals, the RFIs, the information. We get all of the stakeholders that need to be in that meeting together, and we go through the work and provide clear expectations for the crew leader so that he or she knows exactly what's expected. And if I'm a crew leader, I'd be like, so if I do this, you're happy, right? That takes the burden off of you having to guess, or the crew leader having to guess, and there are clear expectations. The other thing that comes out of that meeting 3 weeks ahead, 2 weeks ahead, is a quality checklist or visual feature of work board, meaning it is a clear quality checklist or quality visual board that shows exactly what the crew leader should be installing based on the pre-construction meeting. So that's number 2. So not only do you have the right sequence where this comes in, but now you also know what the quality expectations are, and that is amazing. Okay, number 3, a week ahead of the actual activity happening in the field, and it may be anywhere from 5 days to 7 to 9 working days, but it will at least be a week before the work happens. You will participate with the project team in what's called a weekly work plan. And that weekly work plan is where you and the other trade partners coordinate the detailed aspects of the start and end date for your activities so that you can commit. You're basically saying, in addition to the look-ahead planning that we've done, I have the labor, I have the materials, I have the information, the layout, the permissions, I have everything, and I can complete my activity on that date. And what the team will do is coordinate that with the other trades and come up with a weekly work plan that can be locked in, collaborated on, committed to, with hopefully 100% certainty. And so that enables all of the trades to work together so people are not in your way and you're not in somebody else's way. So that is your weekly work plan. So that's step number 3. Step number 4, you get to do the day plan. So preferably the crew leader huddle is in the afternoon the day before. That's my preference. Some people do it in the morning. But that's where you plan the next day to say, hey, we coordinated this, but the day before, I'm going to make sure that I am actually ready to execute it tomorrow. So that is the fourth step that you'll do before your crew actually hits the ground running and completes the work in that activity. So those are the 4 key steps that you get to participate in before the activity ever happens. Your work doesn't start here. It starts way back here, and that is your job to plan and prepare work. The next little segment, I'm going to talk about what should we do while work is happening. But I'll preface it to say, what should we do while this video is playing? I know you should like and subscribe the channel because you're definitely going to want this content because we have cooler and cooler videos as we go. Obviously, we get better at these things. We want this content for you. So we're going into this section, what does a foreman do while work is going on? And we'll model that with what does a YouTube viewer do while the video is playing? Like and subscribe. You know you want to. Just click right there. Okay, perfect. So let's talk about what does a crew leader do while work is happening. So when you start your day, and this is going to also answer the question, what is a great daily routine? Not only within, let's say that this is a day. By the way, I'm sorry I'm looking at this flip chart. I want to be looking at you. So I'm going back and forth as best as I can. For the audience out there, I got eyes for you, but I'm just writing this out here for you. This is really detailed. So let's say this is a day, okay? You start with your morning routine. And I do want to put a plug in here for all crew leaders. We have personal organization planners, which we will actually include in the description below, the link to it, that you can order, which becomes a day timer for you that replicates this exact system. It's so easy. How easy have we made this for you? It's so cool. And they work on 90-day segments. They're fantastic. So you do your morning routine and you plan your day. If the general contractor knows what they're doing, they're going to have a worker huddle. That's where all workers huddle at the beginning of the day, and the project team connects with them, garners feedback, provides the plan for the day, and creates one team, one social group, talk about safety, do a bit of training. After that worker huddle, you're going to do what's called the crew prep. And the crew preparation huddle, that's where you gather with the crew. You specifically do a job briefing for the task that you're going to do with your crew. You'll probably 5S your area, shake out your materials and tools. You will get your pre-task plans, your safety pre-task plans ready to go. You'll pull out your quality checklist. Remember that we created back here, and you will get the work ready for that day. Okay, so providing that huddle, that instruction to the workers is absolutely crucial for them to go be able to be effective in their work that day. And then here's what happens. Once that is done, all workers should have instructions. And so that means it's on the pre-task plan, it's on the quality checklist, or you might even need to write out instructions, but every worker should have a clear understanding of what they need to do that day to be successful. And then this is the best part. And this answers what a crew leader should be doing while work is happening. There's actually 2 things. And before lunch happens, I don't care when it actually happens, but there's 2 key roles. One is training. I would love it if each worker received 15 minutes, even if it was 5, even if it was like a 2-minute quick little session, 2 to 15 minutes worth of training from the crew leader every day. What I mean by that is these workers aren't just going to figure everything out. Everyone needs training, and it's the crew leader's job to provide that training. So training has to be a major component of what happens every day. The other thing is continuing to plan and prepare for future work. You're not going to sit in the truck and take a break. You're not going to escape to Home Depot, and you're not going to be farting around. But you will be sometimes in the office or in the truck or sitting down behind a desk planning future work, because it is your job to plan that work. It is your job to get out ahead. So let me tell you a quick story, and I've written this in all of the books that we have, Elevating Construction Superintendents, Elevating Construction Foremen. In this story, and this was actually a real story with, I was a field engineer at Whole Foods World Headquarters. There were 2 rod busting crews, and one of the crews was always ahead, one of them was behind. And I asked the crew leader that was always ahead, hey, what's going on? He said, Jason, look at that crew. I said, okay, what's going on? What's he doing? What's the foreman doing? What's the crew leader doing? And I said, working. What's wrong? He said, what is he doing, Jason? And I said, well, he's working. He's tying bar. He's like, that's the problem. I, Jason, bring materials and information to the crew all day long and give them what they need. When he stops, they'll stop. When he hits a roadblock, they'll hit a roadblock, and they'll be standing around. He always has his head below his backside, and he is not preparing work. That has stuck with me my entire career. Foremen, crew leaders must be planning and preparing work. The last thing I would say, after lunch, do another walk and check in with your crew, and then attend the huddle to plan the next day. I have found this to be the best system or outline or agenda to follow the day of when we're doing work. But foremen, crew leaders, always keep your eye fixed on the training of your people and the preparation of the work for that crew so that they never have stops and restarts. One of my main messages here is that a crew leader, a foreman, is the most experienced and the designated leader, worker of the other workers. We do not escape to Home Depot. We do not go and sit in our truck. We do not escape to other locations away from the project. Crew leaders are on site, preparing work, enabling their people, and teaching and training. If this happens, the productivity of crews would increase exponentially. And so the main purpose of what I wanted to say here is that the game does not begin when the work starts, and the game for a crew leader does not stop when the activity is done or when he or she has hit a roadblock. There never should have been a roadblock because the crew leader should have seen it and helped the project team remove it. The work of a crew leader starts way back here with the pull plan. The planning ends with at least the day plan, which is item number 4. And during the work, the crew leader will continue to plan, prepare, and teach. And I want to end with this and make sure that on a daily basis, everything that is needed for that crew is ready the day before so that they can be the workers truly effective. Now, down in the description, I'm going to give you the list of crew leader commandments, the daily routine, the secret sauce, and a number of really cool guides. The other thing is I'm going to give you a link to the book and any other content that I think of between now and then to give you for free. I mean, there's never been a book like this for crew leaders. There's never been checklists like this for crew leaders. This outline, this system is all explained, all described. So you can take this tomorrow with your company and your crews and go make a difference and really win when it comes to safety, quality, and productivity. You've got to have these resources in the description below. So go check it out. I love y'all. On we go.